Oh, what's up everyone and welcome back. Today we are joined by Trenton. What is up, Trenton, bro?
Nothing much. Just, nothing much. It's a simple answer.
Yeah, alright. Okay, so, today, guys, this is a one-off little podcast talking about what, Trenton?
The Wide Way House.
No, bro, the Neighbour Next Door. The brand new movie coming out literally in, how many days is it now, the Halloween?
It's the
22?
It's the 9th.
22?
What?
Isn't it not about 22 days to Halloween then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Just about.
Yeah, 22, 23 days, that is until the Neighbour Next Door comes out. That is not long. You're getting your final teasers and trailers and all that crap towards it. It's an hour and a half. So we'll start off. Alright, Trenton, what questions do you have about the Neighbour Next Door? And I'll answer. I'll tease some little things like I did originally way back for the Wide Way House. So what things do you have, like?
How long is the movie?
How long is the movie? It is, I'm pretty sure, an hour and 28 minutes.
8 minutes.
So it's about, the Wide Way House 1 was an hour and 35 minutes. So, yeah. So, the thing about the movie is the movie, so, remember the Wide Way House, the way the first 30 minutes was quite slow and quite everything. It's gonna kind of be similar in the Neighbour Next Door, but more like in the Wide Way House. It began with like confusion and you know what I mean. But with the Neighbour Next Door, it's got a really good a good entrance to the movie, where it's like me walking down the street, right, dancing and all. So it's energetic. It's good. It's a good movie for sure. It's a good entrance. It's definitely, in my opinion, better than the entrance to the Wide Way House, because you've got music off the bat. You know what I mean? You've got like, you're straight into it. You know what I mean? Like the Wide Way House, you're like kind of like, what is going on? I'm reading a book. You know what I mean? While the Neighbour Next Door, I'm dancing down the street. So it's quite straight into it. So yeah. What other questions you got?
What's the reasoning behind the name other than the obvious?
So the Neighbour Next Door, how I basically came up with the movie name. So, the Neighbour Next Door was quite complicated. I sat down with, of course, Thomas Lynch, because this is his last movie. He did the Wide Way House 1, the Wide Way House 3, Old Man Sam, no, not Old Man, so Wide Way House 1, Wide Way House 3, and of course Neighbour Next Door 1. But he didn't do the Wide Way House 2, that was me. So yeah, we were sitting down and I was like, what should we call it? There was if I find the note, we had a few other names. The Neighbour Next Door, we looked up and all were like, what kind of movies? And there's never actually been a movie called The Neighbour Next Door. There was some we came up with, like The Nightmare Next Door. You know what I mean? Instead of The Neighbour, The Nightmare. But we were like, that's already kind of like Nightmare Next Door. It's kind of similar. So we were like, think about it. What's this villain? What's this guy called? This antagonist called? You know what I mean? And we were like, he's not really going to have a name. He's probably just going to be called The Neighbour. Like, Hello Neighbour. Kind of like that a bit. Kind of like Hello Neighbour. You know the way the neighbour doesn't have a name? And it's just Neighbour.
Yeah.
Neighbour. So yeah, kind of like that. We were like, so why don't we call it, like, the exact name of the thing? So, in the antagonist is called The Neighbour. So why don't we say it like the movie's placed? The Neighbour Next Door, because the neighbour lives beside Mason, the main antagonist, next door. So it's kind of punny, innit? Like,
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, I was like towards the Wide Way House, like it was another weird like name, like, but the Neighbour Next Door really like it really combines the Wild Way House had that. If you like the Halloween, like when you watch the Wild Way House, even though it didn't have the best editing, the Wild Way House had that eerie vibe, right? Like this creepy music, the creepy house. It was eerie. But the Neighbour Next Door does have that a lot, yes. But more of definitely around the last 40 minutes you get to see that, especially going into the quarry, which is insane. It was so hard. We had to film late nights, about 3 a.m. or something, about that, and it was insane. The stunt double and all, it was crazy. It was scary because the thing is, you know the way the Wild Way House was a set?
Yeah.
The quarry is real. It's not staged. So that means the quarry is actually haunted. It is things. But so yeah, that's how we came up with the actual name of the Neighbour Next Door. What other questions?
What did you look for whenever you wrote the script?
What did I look for?
Yeah, like what type of thing were you trying to get into when you wrote the script?
When looking at the script, I was looking back, I was like, the Wild Way House was a hit, right? It was mysterious. Even by the end of the Wild Way House, it was still quite mysterious, you know what I mean? Some people to this day say it's still unsolved. But the Neighbour Next Door, I wanted it to be horror. The Wild Way House didn't really have, oh, I'm scared, jump scare. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want to have an actual jump scares, because there's a few jump scares in it that are actually good jump scares. So I was like, I want to make it true horror. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was wanting a full on bad guy versus good guy, but not like, I wanted it to be Mason, the main character, is a detective. So his dream is to become a detective, right? So when he, I don't want to spoil too much, when he follows the neighbour somewhere, he finds him doing something. I'm not going to say what he's doing, but he finds him doing something, right? And then, yeah, it gets really good. I'd say about 35 minutes in. It's still really good at the start as well. It's not like the Neighbour Wild Way House. It is good, but yeah, I really wanted there's a few chase scenes and all in it, and they're epic. So I really wanted more like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what other questions? What other questions?
What in the world? What's going on?
What's happening?
It started bugging out. Anyway.
What? Any other questions?
How are you going to deal with the criticism that you're going to get after this?
Deal with it. Like
Did you handle it?
Look at the Wild Way House. I don't even think the Wild Way House got that much criticism. It seemed like it did, but I don't think it really did. I don't think it really did. Did it? I don't really think it did get a huge amount of criticism. Maybe straight away.
How are you going to deal with it?
How am I going to deal with the Neighbour Next Door, because it's way more better at it? It's just deal with it. You know what I mean? Ignore them and all that, and just deal with it. So yeah. So the Neighbour Next Door, the villain, like the antagonist, what can I say about the neighbour? The neighbour is scary, for sure. The neighbour fits into the timeline perfectly. From the Wild Way House, you know, the demon and all. You see, the thing is, the Wild Way House never really actually had a person. Think back. The Wild Way House never really had an extra person. It was Chirpy. He was on a call though. Except that clown, you know, the clown at the Wild Way House for like 10 minutes. But this whole thing, you're having an actual other person, a villain, a real life person, not a demon, not someone on the computer, not somebody who possessed Alex. It's a guy. It's a villain. So I think it fits in perfectly to the timeline of, as I said the quote so many times, it's all one mad universe, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's all just one mad universe. And, yeah, I'm just so excited to see what people think about it. I really hope people actually sit back and watch it, because it was really hard to do, and it's really worth the wait. Like, especially the finale, the ending. The ending is absolutely amazing. I don't know what to say. It's epic. I see in the trailers we've tried not to spoil the ending. Of course, we're not going to spoil the ending ever. But I mean, the ending is so unexpected and it's so good that it's so amazing. Like, it's epic. Especially sitting down to the Neighbour Next Door comes out at 31st of October at 8:30 p.m. So that means it'll be finished about 10 p.m. So think back, it's Halloween, remember, right? So it's Halloween. So that means this finale scene in the quarry is at least at 9:30 p.m. That's pitch black outside, prime Halloween, some people say. You know what I mean? So it's perfect. It's a perfect time. We're not going to put it back at like 4:30 p.m. You know what I mean? Because that's stupid. You got to make sure it's night and perfect time. And so we've had to talk about that multiple times with producers and Thomas Lynch and all. But yeah, this is Thomas Lynch's final movie. So yeah, will you be watching The Neighbour Next Door this Halloween?
Probably.
It's good. It's good. Like, as it is. There is some scenes that some people probably call boring, but if you really want to see the story, you watch it. Like, you know what I mean? If you're very invested in stories, in the story is really good. It really worked out to be really good, and also tied a lot into. There is a few hints. So I've talked about this multiple times about the time travelers, right? So we know that Grace Jarrett is a time traveler, and we know, of course, that Stuart is a time traveler. We know there's 6 time travelers. So there is a trilogy of the time travelers. So there's no movie next year. So what year is that? 2024. So then 2025 you got The Neighbour Next Door 2, and then 2026 you got the first time traveler movie. So there's 3 time traveler movies. So yeah, it's really lore involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But next year we have got The Solicitor William. 30-minute movie, just like the Old Man Sam one this year. And then the next year is Debbie Katzag. So yeah, it all works out, you know what I mean? It builds up to a really epic finale. There is a finale for this chapter. So we've decided to put all the movies that are coming up into one chapter. So chapter 1 basically. So that's the Wild Wild Houses, that's The Neighbour Next Door, these time traveler movies, and of course the finale, and all the Old Man Sam and all into one chapter. So it's all one timeline, while chapter 2 is a completely different universe. You know what I mean? So it's all the subtle hints coming up with future movies like The Neighbour Next Door and all, on the time traveler movies. It makes it really good. You know what I mean? So yeah. What other questions?
Who are all the actors that are going to be casted in this film?
The thing is, this is another thing people might be mad about. There's only 2 people in the movie, which is Mason and the neighbour. The reason The Neighbour Next Door 2 is probably going to have way more people. The reason... What the flip? Sorry, bro, the Ouija board on the wall literally just moved. This is crazy, exactly when I'm talking about this. My heart's actually beating now, how did that move? So, the neighbour... we wanted The Neighbour Next Door to be a 2-hander movie, you know what I mean? So just 2 people to make it more better, for more screen time on the main characters. You know what I mean? While The Neighbour Next Door, just like the Wild Wild House 2, you know what I mean? Wild Wild House 1 had only Chirpy, the clown, and Alex really, and Old Man Sam, right? So there wasn't that many. You know what I mean? So that's why I want more prime time on the main characters like the neighbour and Mason, and then in the Neighbour Next Door 2 we can kind of sideline them and find out more about the neighbour and more about actual other characters in this world that the neighbour is in. You know what I mean? So yeah, the neighbour. Also, the neighbour one.
Yeah.
The Neighbour Next Door kind of world is kind of real life because of course there's murderers and all that crap. You know what I mean? There's nothing in here that cannot happen in real life. You know, in a quarry, chase scenes, someone dying. You know what I mean? While the Wild House had demons and all and books. You know, so of course you knew that wasn't real life. But this, I'd say, the Neighbour Next Door is the real life universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, all other questions?
Oh, what's the budget?
What's the budget? The budget. We didn't really need a huge budget, mainly just for the cameras and all, and because the set, the quarry. Oh, you see, the thing is, I actually don't know most of the budget. Probably high though, because you know Thomas Lynch rented out the quarry and all. You know what I mean? So he was the one that was in charge of all the budgets and all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really know, but it probably was quite a dime. You know what I mean? It wasn't just gonna be like £2 or $2, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what other questions?
Let's see. Do you have any secret locations for the filming?
Secret?
Yeah, like places that only you know.
Oh, like that's coming up in the movie.
Yeah.
Old Man Sam, and then Neighbour Next Door is kind of getting progressively worse, and then Neighbour Next Door 2, and then Time Traveler movie. The whole universe is cracking slowly over the years, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why the thing is, it's been 2 years since the Wild House, which is what I find extreme. You know what I mean? Like 2 years. Like when the Time Traveler movie comes out, well, that's 5 years since the Wild House when the first Time Traveler movie comes out. You know what I mean? And also the Chain Reaction is also connected to it, so there's another 4 seasons that connect into the same universe. You know what I mean? So, yeah. What other questions?
Do you have any? You probably wouldn't, but do you have anything after you're finished with the movie to distribute it anywhere?
Oh, what, like deleted scenes, basically?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do we have deleted scenes? Well, there is behind the scenes. Is that what you're trying to say? Like behind the scenes?
I think that'd be considered it technically.
Yeah, there is. I'd say it only add up to about 4 or 5 minutes, but yeah, we do have some. Maybe I could add them out at some point in November, possibly, if people want that. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have some PTS. Yeah. What else?
When did you plan on filming, or are you already currently in filming?
Of what?
Movie?
The movie comes out this Halloween. It's finished.
Finished?
Yeah, it's finished, exported. It's just ready to be uploaded, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. What else?
Who is responsible for any sort of tasks in the or was in charge of the production?
Thomas Lynch, really. Thomas Lynch is, like, in the Wild House one, I really never really liked Thomas Lynch. But when he came back for the Wild House free, he's really turned into a likable guy. You know what I mean? He is a good producer.
Yeah.
It is going to be sad to say goodbye to Thomas Lynch, but me going on with the movies, myself being the producer, it's going to be hard. But I've produced Chain Reaction, Dementia Awareness, good series, you know what I mean? So I have done good movies or series before, you know what I mean? So, yeah. What else?
And for the last question, do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers?
Advice. Do it. If you really do want to do a movie, know it's going to be hard. It will be hard. It is very hard, but not just because of the price and the thing. You have to think about a lot more. You have to think about the story. You have to think about the name. You have to think about the locations. You have to think about the trailers. You have to think about all the advertising and all the hype and all the things. So yeah. So yeah, just go for it. If you're prepared, if you've got a good price, if you've got good subscribers and all that, go for it. It'll be worth. When it's done, especially me creating my own wee universe, you know what I mean, with these movies, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be, so yeah, just go for it. So yeah, that is it for this podcast. But before we go, The Neighbour Next Door comes out on 31st of October, Halloween, at 8:30 p.m. GMT/BST, which is the equivalent of what's written 3:30 is it? Yeah, 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
2 or 3:30, yeah.
Yeah, 3:30 p.m. Eastern and to 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. If you want more times, just comment below and I will tell you. Do not miss, guys. This was really the final kind of big thing towards The Neighbour Next Door. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I will be live on the 31st of October, actually for a watch party. Will you be there, Trenton? At the watch party?
Probably.
So yeah, there'll be a big watch party. Yeah. So on Halloween. So yeah, there's no also DJ Scars. After the 24th stream, there's no stream on the 29th, 30th, and of course Halloween. But except for that watch party for The Neighbour Next Door, then I'll be back streaming on the 1st of November. But yeah, that's really it, isn't it, Trenton? So yeah, do you, after all these questions and all, do you think it'll end up being a banger movie just like The Wild Wild House?
Well, there is quite of a letdown considering there's only 2 people going to be in the actual physical movie itself.
True. What other letdowns do you think there could be?
I think that's mostly the main thing.
So yeah, just the car. But you see, the characters are so good. You just have to wait and see. Two-handers, like a lot of people say, two-handers are have to be good. You have to make it good if you want a two-hander episode, a two-hander movie, two-hander. You know what I mean? Whatever. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's really it, isn't it, Trent?
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Trenton, for asking the questions and everything over The Neighbour Next Door. Appreciate that. Alright. See you guys. Halloween.